Now, one question I get asked a lot by you guys is, Jace, what do you buy? Well, what don't you buy? Now, there are some products I choose not to buy, not because they're not necessarily good for collecting or investing, but because it's just my own personal preference. Now, some of these products you may collect yourself and you'd prefer to collect these and buy these and invest in these. So today I'll be going through my picks on products that I choose not to buy and essentially what I would deem waste my money on. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be buying products where I don't feel like I'm getting, potentially good value in return in the long run, or necessarily just good value immediately, especially if they're going to be opened. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so today's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be going through a bunch of sealed products which I choose not to buy. Now, I'm not saying these are terrible or bad. At the end of the day, buy and collect what you like at the end of the day. Whether or not it's to invest or just collect or to even crack open, get the products that you like the look of and that you want to keep. Now, for me, I tend to go for things like booster boxes over some of these other products. Now, these products aren't bad, I just choose not to get them. So today we're going through TCG Player at some examples of sealed products that I choose not to buy. Let's get into it. But first, let's get into today's sponsor, lowpoppin.market. If you are on the hunt for big top-end graded cards, they have you covered. From PSA 10s to Beckett Black Labels, guys, they have it all for you. They have all of their stock listed over on their Instagram page, so you can go through and browse through their entire catalog of amazing graded cards. I mean, they are absolutely fantastic. If you necessarily don't have the funds right now, they can also buy your collections from you guys to help get the cards that you want to get hold of. But not only do they buy collections, but they also do trades as well. We all know we like trading, but they also accept trades towards the cards that you want to get. If you don't have the cash right now, buy the cards that you want. And on top of that, they also accept multiple payment methods and international shipping. Hey, I'm over here in the UK, so that's great news for me. So if you're looking at picking up some of these cards, or you just want to check out their store, make sure to click on the link in the description below. Head on over to their Instagram page and their store, drop them a follow, and go and take a look. All right, let's get into the video. Okay, first things first is ETBs. Now, specifically the normal set ETBs. Now, I don't tend to normally go for these. If I was going to go for ETBs, then I tend to go for holiday sets, we'll get into in just a moment. We're talking normal sets. So here we got an example. We have the Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer Box. Now, don't get me wrong, in the past, okay, Elite Trainer boxes have actually appreciated quite well in value, and they have, right? Take XY Evolution, an ETB of that, you're looking at several hundred. Again, some of the Sun and Moon era ones, we're talking a couple of hundred. So, yes, there are some which are more and more expensive, and I get that, right? But with a lot of the Sword and Shield era ETBs, a lot of places still have these well stocked up, they're hard to shift. On top of that, a lot of them have massive reprints, such as Vivid Voltage and Dancer Blaze, and they did get quite expensive, then they got a humongous reprint, and those prices drop like crazy. When it comes to opening up the products, let's say you bought an ETB and you wanted to open it, it's not necessarily that great, right? In the past, you got 8 booster packs for what, $40, $50 over here in the UK, £40. And I've been an advocate constantly saying they need to put more packs in here. They need to give us a promo like they do with the holiday ones. And Pokemon have answered with the Scarlet and Violet era ETBs. Now, I do think they're better value for money to open, right? You got the Obsidian Flames ETB, you get a really cool looking Charmander promo, and you get an additional pack now. Now, the prices or the MSRP did go up, but to be fair, because there's so much of it around, the market has basically kept it at a reasonable price. However, as you can see on this chart, Obsidian Flames ETB has bounced back quite nicely. Then at $37, you get 9 booster packs, you get a promo, you get all the accessories. Now, I think that's a good deal if you're going to crack open. Long term, if I was going to pick up an ETB from a normal set, like Obsidian Flames, they're Evolved or Paradox Rift, I would go for the Pokemon Center exclusives. Now, they're not easy to get. Kind of once they're gone, they're gone. But they're a bit more exclusive. They're a bit more harder to find. They're great to keep sealed, but not very good to open, okay? I wouldn't necessarily open them. I would keep them as a really nice, good collection piece and a good long-term product to invest in, because as a rule they're limited, and I always say limited or premium, which we'll get to later on in the video, is key. But as a rule, I tend to avoid normal ETBs. That doesn't mean I don't buy any ETBs. I actually do own quite a few ETBs from a variety of different sets, especially this one, which is Hidden Fates. This is the one where I have lots of. Now, this is from a special set back in the Sun and Moon era, holiday set they call it, and we have loads like Shining Fates, Pokemon Go, Crown Zenith. Now, some of these are better than others. Now, it's always tricky to know which one is good right? So I gone for Hidden Fates because I like the set. I like the cards in the set. I love the promo. Just everything about it makes me like the set. And that's one thing I always say to you guys is get the stuff you like. You can't go wrong, right? You just can't. So, you know, if you like Pokemon Go, get Pokemon Go. You know, if you like Crown Zenith, get Crown Zenith. For me personally, I think Hidden Fates is a great one. I think Shining Fates is also a good one, even though it's nice and easy to get hold of. It is cheap. You know, they did reprint it a lot, which makes it better, to be honest, to pick up because it's a nice price point. But then you got stuff like Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith is a fantastic product to pick up, you know, if you go on ETB. Holiday sets is what I tend to go for. Celebrations is another one. But to me, the normal set ETBs are not the greatest. And, you know, that's why I tend to avoid. Another one is collection boxes. Now here we got a whole variety of different collection boxes that you can pick up. We have things like the milk cartons, which we're talking about, the Marnie, the Clara. These are premium tournament collection boxes. Then you got things like the UPC. We see the 151 UPC. You have the Charizard UPC. There's so many different varieties of collection boxes. Now some of these are actually pretty good. Now some of these I definitely have picked up myself. And there are some which I would probably kind of avoid, to be perfectly honest. So things like the Dragonite V boxes. Now you got V boxes, VMAX boxes, you got the EX boxes. So these are normally the boxes or collection boxes that come with maybe 4 or 5 packs. You get a promo in there, you get an oversized card in there. Now personally, I don't tend to collect these, one, because they're quite bulky and I find them a little bit of a pain to store, to be honest. And on top of that, yeah, sometimes you don't get the best packs. Now, if there are some out there which do contain good packs, for instance, like the Arceus V figure collection box. It's not a premium box, but I do feel like it's good because you do get a Cosmic Eclipse in there. And I actually think any collection boxes that have Evolving Skies, they're also really good as well, because in the long term, Evolving Skies are going to be really sought after. I think those collection boxes will actually hold better value than some that say, I don't know, you buy some that has Scarlet and Violet base, Paldea Evolve, and Obsidian Flames. Okay, great. They're not necessarily that good. The promos may be quite nice, but usually they're quite cheap and easy to get hold of. So if you're going to crack them open, usually as a rule, the collection boxes aren't best value for money. I mean, this one right here is $35. You know, you don't necessarily get the best packs, but this one here, to be honest, is actually not too bad because it does contain Evolving Skies. So this one actually has gone up over time because it has an Evolving Skies. It has a sought after booster pack. Whereas you take a look at the example here of the Pikachu V box, this doesn't actually contain Evolving Skies. It's only $16. You go back over the last 6 months, it's kind of basically stayed exactly where it is. So you've got to keep an eye on certain collection boxes. Like I say, it all depends on the packs. There are some I've seen that come with Evolving Skies, some that come with Ultra Prism, Cosmic Eclipse. You've got to keep an eye at, you know, which ones are good. But personally, I don't tend to go for them. Like I say, mainly because the bulkiness is a bit of a pain. And I don't like to keep looking around trying to find which ones have got the best packs in, or may have one pack of Evolving Skies here, one there. Normal V boxes or EX boxes I don't tend to go for, but what I do tend to go for is premium. I always say in my videos, premium is key. Like for example, the Milk Carton Premium Tournament Collection boxes. As you can see here, you got the Marnie one. I think this was the first one that came out. Now I have only just one of these in my collection because at the time I didn't actually buy that many. So I've opened some, but I've only kept one sealed. Now you do get a bunch of packs in there. You get some beautiful looking promos. These are fantastic products, by the way. You know, if you're going to crack open, these are great. Easy to keep stored up as well, which is, like, for me, it's like all about space, right? I go for booster boxes over ETBs. I find ETBs are too bulky. I find collection boxes too bulky. Even UPCs I think can be a bit too big. But sometimes, but for booster boxes, they're quite easy to store. Stack them up quite nicely. Really easy to store. And same with these. These are nice, slimline. You know, I mean, they've crammed these packs right in there. But these are great, you know, little ones to pick up. This one's obviously one that shot up quite high. It was a lot of hype around this. It did come out during the pandemic. So, you know, it was a bit awkward supply-wise to get hold of. They have printed some more recent ones, for instance, like the Clara, and the Cyrus as well. And I think, again, this is good value. Even just to open, this is pretty decent. So I tend to normally go for premium, although I do think some are better than others. But these ones I tend to go for. Next, we have loose booster packs, single pack blisters, and triple pack blisters. This example here, we got Paradox Rift, one of the most recent sets. Now, I tend to not buy loose booster packs unless they are from an older era, okay? And to be fair, I tend to prefer to go for things like blisters over sealed booster packs if I were to go for older stuff. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I wanted to buy, you know, maybe a vintage pack, a black and white era pack. I would prefer to go and buy maybe a single blister, a triple pack blister, something like that, because I know it hasn't been tampered with. As a rule, you know, you do run the risk of a older booster pack, an older set, potentially being resealed and stuff like that. You hear a lot of stuff going around, oh, you know, is it resealed, repackaged, whatever. And that's why I tend to go for blisters. Now, booster packs, I don't tend to go for. Like, if I was going to buy Paradox Rift, personally, I would probably go out my way and buy a booster box. I know it's a lot of money up front, rather than just buying the booster packs raw, like on their own, loose, because they tend to be a little bit more expensive, especially if you want to open them. They tend to be. Now, at the moment, even with, you know, Sword and Shield, and especially Scarlet and Violet, things are getting heavily printed, right? These booster packs are everywhere, and they're super cheap. But if you take an example like Evolving Skies, those booster packs have actually gone up over time, which is fair enough. But personally, I don't want to have lots of loose boosters everywhere. I would prefer to go for maybe, you know, maybe like the Pokemon Center ETB, or maybe a booster box. Just something where they're together, they're sealed. I don't have to worry about it. So I don't want to have lots of loose booster packs everywhere. So those are the ones I don't tend to go for. And the triple pack blisters, a lot of people do like to collect these. And again, if you know, we're talking about things like easy to store, these are not too bad. Personally, I don't tend to go for them, but I do know that a lot of people like to go for the triple pack blisters. And I mean, they are a little bit more expensive because you're paying a little bit extra for that promo. But overall, if I was going to go for something, I would probably go for the triple pack. I wouldn't go for any loose. I probably wouldn't even go for the single pack ones. So these like check lane blisters. Again, I definitely wouldn't pick these to open up. I mean, $5 for a Paradox Rift. Nah, I'm alright. For those ones in particular, you know, I would prefer to buy these to be fair, over loose, and same as sleeve boosters. I prefer to buy sleeved than just loose packs. So for me, I tend to avoid loose booster packs. Even Evolving Skies, you know, where a set's a little bit more sought after, I won't go for just singular booster packs. Maybe I might get packs from a Charizard UPC, or a booster box, or an ETB, or just something where it's come from, it is sealed, and I broke it open to get those packs, but I won't necessarily go out for them on their own. And then finally, we have tins. Now, tins can be a hit and miss. You've got mini tins, you've got Pokeball tins, you've got stacking tins, you have like these normal kind of collection tins. So for me, if I was going to collect these, I would go for just the normal tins. I wouldn't go for the Pokeball ones. They are an absolute pain to store. If we're talking about keeping things stored, which I tend to go for. Mini tins are okay. You know, they are, you know, clues in the name, they are mini, so they're not exactly difficult to store. It really depends what sets are in them as well. Again, it's similar to the collection boxes. It depends what sets are in them. And I think there are some that are better than others. For example, I would probably go for more of the holidays, you know, special sets like Pokemon 151, Crown Zenith and the like. Same with collection tins as well. Like if we look here, we've got the Hidden Fates collection tins. I like to go for Hidden Fates because I like the set. Again, I feel like you can't go wrong with something that you particularly like. I think 151 is probably going to be a lot better than some of the others. When you see some of these Pokeball tins and you get like, I don't know, a Vivid Voyage, Darkness Ablaze in them, not great, right? Or Sword and Shield based Rebel Clash, they're not great. So again, it's like the collection boxes, it all depends what packs are in there. Now with reprints, they do change up the pack selection and the variety, so you've got to keep that in mind, because there have been some times where, you know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, there's Evolving Skies in here. You buy it, you open it, and there's no Evolving Skies. So it really does depend on print runs. When you buy like a special set one like Hidden Fates, you're going to get Hidden Fates, right? You know that all the packs in there are going to be Hidden Fates. Same like Crown Zenith tins, you know, Pokemon 151 tins. You know what you're going to get in there. So that's why I tend to go for the specialist sets. But when we're talking about stuff like the Evolution tins, again, I probably wouldn't go for them unless you just want to collect the Evolutions. But again, you probably just get them individually if you just want them. Now, for collection-wise, I think the stacking tins are a bit better. Again, a little bit easier. But it all depends on that pack selection. Again, like collection boxes, they've been printed to, you know, ridiculous levels at the moment. The supply is definitely more than the demand, you know, especially in the Scarlet and Violet era. But again, it all depends on what packs you get inside. But I do think some are better than others. Personally, I did actually have a lot of Hidden Fates tins. I think I had like 20. Or, no, I think it was 18. I had 6 of each. And I sold them all. In the end, I was like, you know what? I would prefer to go with VTBs of Hidden Fates rather than all these tins. The tins are a bit clunky and a bit annoying to move around and, you know, store and whatever. Promos are great, but I decided against it. And the same with the Evolution tins. I actually had all the Evolution tins sealed, and I just end up cracking them open and just having fun with them rather than keeping them sealed in my collection. Those are just some examples of different products that I choose not to buy. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying that I'm literally just throwing money away, but there are definitely some that are better to buy than others. Always best to buy what you like. That's why I tend to go for hidden face ETBs over necessarily just normal set ETBs. I feel like Pokemon Center ETBs are better than the regular set ETBs. That's why I tend to go for them. Like I got the Crown Zenith one. Didn't get the 151, which is a bit of a shame, but I might try and get one in the future. Same with like the Pokemon Celebrations, but I kind of feel like Pokemon Celebrations normally ETB is pretty good. Same with Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith ETB is really good. Pokemon 151 ETB is very good. But then when you come to collection boxes, I tend not to go for them. I actually had some of the Arceus V collection boxes. In the end, I just ended up cracking them open and having some fun. But I do feel like premium is key, and there are a ton of great premium products out there. Things like the Charizard UPC or, you know, other UPCs in general. But then also things like those EV VMAX boxes. They're fantastic. Brilliant promos. You know, good pack selection. But again, with the collection boxes and the tins, it's the packs configurations is what makes them really desirable. And with a lot of them, I mean, the collection boxes are a little bit easier because you can kind of see what's in there. But the tins, it's a guessing game, right? Especially with reprints, you don't know if it's going to have an older set in there or not, or a sought after set or a chase set. It is really tricky. But at least with collection boxes, you can kind of see on the front, yep, okay, it's got Evolving Skies in there, or Cosmic, or Ultra Prism. So, you know, that's not too bad. And then obviously single packs. I don't tend to buy loose packs. Not really. The only, like I say, the only time I do is if I'm buying, you know, loose packs for, you know, my vintage seal collection, which is kind of non-existent at the moment. But a lot of it, you know, I would tend to go for triple pack blisters. I think are better over the check lane single pack blisters. Same with loose booster packs. Of course, there are lots of other different varieties of products that I haven't covered on here that I tend not to pick up as well. It doesn't mean they're bad. It just means I don't tend to go for them. Like an example would be the Dragonite Pokemon Go box, for instance. Very cool, unique. You know, again with celebrations, you had like the Pikachu figure collection box and stuff like that. Again, great products. I just personally choose not to buy them. Doesn't necessarily mean they're bad, but I do feel like there are better options if you're going down the investment route for the long term. I do think there are better options than some of these products. For instance, like booster boxes or, like I say, Pokemon Center ETBs. But if you made it this far to the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content. We're on the road to 10k. Yeah, that's right, 10k subscribers, guys. So definitely make sure to smash that subscribe button. And I will be doing a video covering what I do buy. You know, I talked a little bit about it today, but I will also be showing you what I've bought, you know, and have in my collection. So definitely keep an eye out for that video. If you want to know what has been going on in the market recently, because some things have been going absolutely crazy, then make sure to click the video on the screen right now. And of course, guys, like I say, if you watch more Pokemon content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.